Hello, Brian the Fanboy here, and today I am going to review the first season of Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Now, at first I thought I'd wait until I watched the whole series, but I am going to just review the first season instead. Now, oh yes, and also I am also going to compare it with Tokumei Sentai Kopasta. Now, okay, the season starts with at this gym where a bunch of teenagers were taking karate, and the instructor, who's also a teenager, he was having some kind of problem with a student, and they kind of end up in a fight, but two of the instructor's friends, they kind of told him not to, but he ended up fighting, the student he was having problem with. Now, around the same time, the city known as Coral Harbor, well, they started to plan to start a new energy source called Morphers, which is well, which comes from the morphing grid, which is the source where all the Power Rangers get their morphing powers from. Of course, the mayor, he wasn't so sure about it because he claimed that every time the morphing grid is used for something, eventually some villains will try to take advantage of it. And he mentioned how he mentioned Rita Repulsa, Slash, and Calvin X. Oh, and also, oh yeah, I forgot the student who the instructor was having trouble with. The instructor name is Blaze, and his friends were Ravi and Roxy, and the student he was having a problem with was Devon. Now, and yes, they went to a the whole Morpheus thing. Well, it takes place at this building known as Great Battle Force. And for anybody who's seen Super Sentai, they know that the initials GP stands for Go Busters. Now, then eventually, as soon as at the head of it's a commander. I forgot her name was, but well, uh, she tried to convince the mayor that it's a good idea, and then oh, and also forgot that the mayor's son Devin. You see, the mayor, he wanted what's best for his son, and he wanted him to work so he can make something out of himself. Take some kind of responsibility because he doesn't feel that his son is doing anything to improve his life. Anyway, and Great Battle Force. Oh yes, and the mayor also. Well, when the Devin heard about the kind of stuff that's going on there, he wants to check it out. But I mean, Devin wants to check it out. However, the mayor said he doesn't want his son near the place because he thinks it's dangerous. Also, and Great Battle Force, we also meet this girl named Zoe who, yeah, she's a worker there. The but the low jobs, and also there the oh, and there's also other workers named Ben and Betty, and they're brother and sister, and they end up in wacky situations, so they're the comedy relief. Well, anyway, during an event, well, a demonstration, the head scientist Nate, who's also a teenager, well, he was getting ready three candidates for to become the next Power Rangers to protect the city from any evil that might threaten the city or even the entire planet. And also, something went wrong. You see, what happened was that in the other somewhere around the morphing grid, there is this evil virus known as via. Oh, hold on a minute. I have to check something out. Yes. Yes. The virus name is Evox, and he has an assistant named Scrozzle, and he wants to get into the human dimension so he can take it over. But Evox doesn't have a body, so he's planning to use the Morph X to try to get in and do evil stuff. And then of course, oh, another thing for mentioning, let's yes, that when the mayor started to recount this, they had to be hidden because according to the head of Great Battle Force, Commander Shaw, she told that the Rangers' identities had to be secret. And anyway, once the supposed to be Rangers were so about to get the powers, he was gonna did something to the Deucer in, and then two of them were fell down, but there these things called avatars appeared, and the two of them were ended up in a coma, and for the third one, well, he well he was out of there before it was too late. Now, the first, the two supposed to be Rangers were of course Roxy and Blaze, and they in a coma while their avatars went out to start trouble. And the thing is that the avatars actually looks like them, and not only that, they're supposed to be like the Beast Morpher versions of Enda and Escapu from Tokumei Sentai Go Pasta. And also, they have like an armor mode, but when they look like humans, they wear these suits with Avatar Blaze having red stripes and Avatar Roxy having yellow stripes, since they were supposed to be the Red and Yellow Rangers. The third Ranger was Ravi, and since he didn't go through the whole Avatar thing, he get to see other team. Now, fortunately, Devin and Zoe, they had to be there, and well, uh, I don't remember what happened this episode, but eventually, they were given powers too. So now we have Devin, the red Beast Morpher Ranger, Ravi, the blue Beast Morpher Ranger, and Zoe, the yellow Beast Morpher Ranger. And together they are Power Rangers Beast Morphers. And also, they also got these robots known as Beast Bots. While in the Japanese version, they were called Bodyroids. Oh, and also forgot to mention that, in the Japanese version, Demon's counterpart was Hiromu, Robbie's was Ryuji, and Zoe's was Yoko. Anyway, back to the Beast Bots. Well, um, each of them are based on a different animal. We had first Cruz, who's based on a cheetah, and he can also turn into a motorcycle. Then we have Smash, who's a gorilla, a robot gorilla. I mean, you see, Cruz is a red robot, and Cruz is a blue gorilla robot. And then we have a Jax, who's supposed to be a robotic jackrabbit. And the, the Japanese names were, of course, for Cruz was Cheetah Nick, for Smash it was Gorilla Banana, and for Jax it was Usada Lettuce. And also these beast bots can also become the controls in the swords. So get the connect the swords to become like we the controllers of the swords. And when those three swords are put together, they form a Megazord. And I remember in Ghostbuster, they were called well, the Megazord was referred to as the Megazordo. Yeah, and also let's see. Oh, and for the Rangers, for them to morph, they have to well, they let's see. Oh yeah, it was a Beast Morphers Unleashed. At least I think that it was. Well, hold on, I had to go. I can check something. Yes, make sure I got it right. Yeah, all right. And now, it's the Rangers. Well, their transformation devices are called the Beast X Morphers, and what they do is they hold their arms like this, and they'll activate Beast powers, and they transform into their Ranger forms. Now, in Tokumei Sentai Go Buster, I remember that the Rangers in that version they would say it's morphing time, and they transform into their Sentai forms. Oh, and also the Morphers would be like let's morphine. There's also the phrase it's time for pasta. Now yeah, so after that they eventually started fighting Evox's evil forces, and they've been doing that for a while. Oh, and also forgot to mention about each other rangers and what they do. Well, for one thing, I mean, well, like I said before, the rangers' identities had to be kept secret. I mean, yeah, there were some series where rangers didn't have secret identities, but this is one of those. This is the secret identity one. But anyway, yes. So they had to give secret from not just their friends, but also their family, especially their parents. So Devin's father could not know he's a ranger, and Zoe's mother, who is a reporter, also could not know he's a ranger. The only ranger who doesn't have to keep his identity a secret from a parent is, of course, Robbie, because, well, guy made a shot happens to be his mother. Now, also, well, with each ranger powers, well, also come weaknesses as well. For example, well, you see, Devin, he freezes up when he ever sees, a dog, whether it was, in person or maybe if he's a picture of a dog, he will freeze it up, which is different from the Japanese version because, well, in that version, the Red Ranger freezes up whenever he sees a chicken because he's afraid of chickens. And it was because of some childhood drama he experienced, or at least, something he experienced through childhood. Oh, and also forgot to mention that the Japanese version of Devon, well, he mostly lived with his sister because, well, the other two, well, they live in the Go-Busters area. But I think because, his, well, hero move was the only family his sister had left, and they know there was no special arrangements made, so they can be together for a while, until Hiro is old enough to go his own way. Now, as for yes, and well, the reason that they made have a dog was, I guess, being afraid of chicken might be too silly for Power Rangers, so I guess they use dogs because well, cheetahs are cats and cats are known to be afraid of dogs, and uh, that's the excuse to use. Now, for Ravi, is that well, his weakness is overheating, which means like if he overheats too much, then gets into some kind of a rampage, which is just like his Japanese counterpart. And oh yes, and also forgot to mention that next power, since next power is based on Ashida, gets super speed, and Ravi's superpower is based on Gorilla, so he gets super strength. As for Zoe, her superpower is super jump because her power is based on Jet Rabbit. And well, his her weakness is falling down after a battle, like exhaustion. And the only way for her to recuperate is to eat a carrot because rabbits are known to eat carrots. Of course, and Go Buster, well, Joku, she eats a lot of sweets, to keep up her because her powers cause her to lose a lot of, a lot of calories. I mean, like more than a person should. But of course, eating sweets will not look be something that they would show on Power Rangers because this whole thing about getting kids to eat healthy and watching a superhero eating sweets to get back up might seem the wrong idea. But I guess in Japan, kids are probably smart enough to not take that kind of stuff too seriously. I mean, yes, I'm sure they encourage to be healthy over there, but I think they're smart enough to know that just because a character eats all the sweets doesn't mean they should as well. But anyway, yes, the Rangers fought a lot of monsters, and then eventually they joined. But well, what happened was that Nate, who was the head scientist, he said he always wanted a brother, and that this one episode he was kidnapped by Eva's forces, and he was forced to make a robot body. Of course, he had a plan up his sleeve. So what he did make a robot, but he did something so Eva wouldn't get through. And of course, he was well. For one thing, he did something, and now Nate became the new Gold Ranger, and the robot he made became the new Silver Ranger. So he's also a Beast Spot, but also a Ranger too. So now that he's made out of 5 Rangers, and their powers are based on the Nate's power is based on the Mantis, and his robot, whose name is Steel, his power is based on the Scarab. And well, of course, thing about this that it's not really completely exactly like I was in the Sentai version. And I had to go see and check it out first. All right, so Nate's power is based on the Brain Mantis, and Steel's powers is based on the Scarab. Of course, thing is that it's kind of not really like it was in the Japanese version. You see, well, first of all, oh yeah, I forgot to mention the Japanese counterparts. Nate's Japanese counterpart was is called Masado, and Steel's Japanese counterpart is called BJ Stagu, and also Masoto is known as a Pitu Buster, and is BJ Stagu is known as a Stagu Buster, and also Nate's sword is supposed to be a praying mantis. Well, technically the Japanese version it was a Japanese rhinoceros beetle, and as for the scarab sword, well, in the Japan version it was a stag beetle. I mean, if you look at Nate's sword and Beast Morphers, it looks nothing like a praying mantis. And of course, for those who've seen Go Buster, then you probably know this already. Now, during most of this series, different other stories as well, and eventually, well, first of all, the mayor he started to realize, all the good work the Rangers did, and now he became more supportive of Great Battle Force. Of course, he still didn't know the Red Rangers is really his son, and well, anyway, they just keep fighting a lot, and then, well, I mean, fighting evil and all that stuff, and then eventually, by the final season, something happens. You see, during an attack, well, the mayor was giving a speech, and then, evil's forces were attacking people, and once the mayor saw Devin running away, well, he thought he was running away, in fear, but it's because he didn't know that he was running, so he can hide the morph. And then, once all the rangers are together to morph, I mean, already morph, then there'll be some problems, and then eventually the mayor saw the rangers being attacked by the monsters, and when he, probably by accident, he saw the red ranger demorph and learned that his son Devin was already the whole time, and uh, he felt sorry for all the things he said to him because, well, but also he wasn't thrilled that his son was allowed to be in that kind of danger. Of course, when he went to talk to Kamala Shah, he will well let's see yes he found out that she had let his son fight as he do, but because she's been training him for some time. And let's see what else. Yes, and there's so many, and eventually, oh yes, before something this kind of stuff happened, well, Roxy's avatar was trying to destroy her, but eventually, Robbie he gonna destroy Roxy's avatar, even though he was supposed to do something else, and he disobeyed the red order, but eventually, once the real Roxy woke up, well, she told him that she remembered everything that Avatar did, and told the Rangers evil plans. And of course, they went to the other dimension, and of course, eventually they defeated Evox, and everybody was there. Of course, they didn't see Devin come out. However, he actually did make it out. Yeah, and that kind of and with Evox was defeated, the city of Coral Harbor, as well as Thunder Earth, are safe for now. And that's how season one of Power Rangers Beast Morphers ended. I mean, a lot of stuff happens in that season, but I don't want to say too much because there's a lot to talk about. Oh, and also oh yes, forgot to mention that during the season, it's been revealed that Rangers cannot date Rangers, not date each other anyway, because well, you see, it's probably because some kind of distraction or something, kind of like why some people said about not being around office romance, that kind of stuff. Of course, it's been known as to be well, Robbie, well, the real Roxy told I mean, it's revealed that Robbie said that it was a silly rule, and well, before the whole Ranger thing, Robbie and Roxy were a couple, but Robbie had to end things with that because of the rules. Oh, and also, Robbie he was an artist, but he hated talent of his mother because well, according to him, according to his mother, that art is a waste of time, like like a silly distraction. But we talk about the one day that she might understand, and eventually, yes. And let's see what else. Oh yes, and of course, once the whole thing was over, well, hold on, Okay, yes, I remember now. Yes, so also Nate and Zoe started to develop some kind of romance at the beginning, but they didn't know what to do because of the rules. But yes, and let's see what else. For each character artist, let's see. Yes, I think. Oh yes, Devin. Well, he likes video games. He enjoyed. He also enjoyed training as well. And Zoe, well, I guess she's the heart of the team. Like she loves her friends and wants to do the right thing. And well, yeah, I think that's all I can say about the particular Power Rangers Beast Wars. I mean, I don't know if I left anything particular out because there's so many things happened. But I guess this is for this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.